Libra, it's March 2021. Glad to have your company today. Have a look at your chart here. What you'll notice straight away, I'm going to animate it too because it makes it a little bit more interesting to look at, is the cluster of planets, 6 of them actually, 2 lots of triplets, here in the 5th house of romance and love affairs, trined by the moon. That's a 120-degree aspect there on the 2nd of March, particularly to the Jupiter one, is very favourable for advancing your romantic interests. 2nd house is more financial in nature. That's also supported by these 3 planets in the 6th house. 6th house is considered debt. You know, there's good debt and bad debt. So all you have to do here is just be a little careful about where you are spending your money. If you've got to spend it on something that's going to give you a return on investment. Furnishings, paintings, antiques that actually accumulate value over time. A little bit of a problem there with your communication though with work co-workers. You see that there on the 6th and 7th. Square aspect, these red lines are the square aspects to Neptune. A little bit confusing when you've got a hard aspect, as we call it, to Neptune. Things ease up a little bit, more of a domestic situation around the 8th and 9th. An intensification of your feelings is likely, and particularly if you've got some issues pending with your mother or the female members, elder female members of your family. 5th house again is the love affairs, creativity. That's a little bit stifled by the conjunction of Saturn on the 10th, 11th as it's approaching that. It gets better when it hits this Jupiter-Mercury. Perfect time for submitting your ads, doing some copy, some creative writing. It's a creative period. The really big celestial event for you is the new moon that takes place here after the conjunction of Venus and Neptune. Here it is on the 14th, 13th and 14th. A lovely combined influence of the sun and moon here in your 6th house of workplace activities. A few things are covered by that. It's the methodology of your work, Libra, the way you're doing the work, the way you're allocating your time management. As I say, time is really the big commodity. It is more valuable than money, especially as you get older. That may need to be something that you address, especially if you're going to be dealing with relationships there on the 15th, 16th. Matters of intimacy on the 17th and 18th. Something unusual can happen at that time, or because Uranus is what we consider a very progressive planet, you might try something a little different in the bedroom, if I could put it that way. Uranus in your 8th house of sexuality. Not just sexuality, it's the 8th house of shared resources. So looking at your finances differently. Moon moves through this 9th house, which is a value sector as well. So we're talking about value, starting here in the 6th house, which is your work, 7th house, which is your partnerships, 8th house, which is intimacy and shared resources, 9th house, which is your values, higher educational pursuits, and the Mars there in the conjunction there around the 20th, 21st can create some conflicts. There could be problems in forms and applications for educational institutions, legal institutions, government. That's more likely when the moon transits the 10th house here, as we see it does around the 23rd and 24th. Far better time here with the triangular aspect to Venus as the moon moves through the fire sign of Leo here, your 11th house, in a beautiful conjunction to Venus and the sun. And I did forget to mention another very important aspect there on the 20th, 21st, Sun and Venus moving into this foreground of your horoscope, the 7th house, which is your love life. Very, very important cycle commencing here. Firstly, because the sun is in its best sign here in Aries, as you can see, and Venus passionate in the fire sign of Aries. Maybe a little problem here as the moon swings around into your sun sign there on the 28th, moving into the full moon phase on the 29th. That can make you highly emotional and brings a lot of your focus and attention on the relationships that you're having, particularly those most meaningful long-term ones, spousal, business partnerships, etc. Notice again that as we hit the last day of the month, The finance sector is again activated, and it's going to bring back that new moon energy of that progressive element that we mentioned as it moved through the 8th house. Back here into the 2nd house, that's when you can actually earn some money. The 10th house moon, 10th house is your career, has a strong connection there, the very tail end of the month with your finances. So that's excellent to maybe throw your hat into the ring for some extra money, for some new work, or some discussions with your employer about how to capitalize on the work that you're doing, to maybe put a bit more cash in your pocket. Take a look at the site, my site, astrology.com.au. We've got more there for the month of March. We've got more there for the whole year, actually, if you want to have a look at how this month is panning out in terms of the next few months of 2021. Fingers crossed it's getting better, hopefully for you, hopefully for all of us. Drop me a note if you want. Don't forget to subscribe. We can keep you posted on new videos that I do occasionally, and of course the monthlies that I'll be doing again here, same time next month. I hope you'll join me again. Take care now. Bye-bye.